name is LoeyLane, and I'm so excited to tell you guys about my new podcast, Internet Urban Legends, with my BFF Snitchery.
We deep dive into the darkest corners of the internet to uncover whether some of the most notorious web myths are hoax or whether they're con. Internet Urban Legends, available exclusively on Spotify.
Hello, my loves. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. Hi, hello. My name is Loey. Welcome to part 2 of the creepy, weird, disturbing YouTube Iceberg. I know it's been a while since the first part of this was uploaded. However, these videos take a really long time to research and write scripts for and everything. Today's video wound up being 10,000 words in the script alone. So if you haven't seen part 1, it's not necessary to understand anything happening in this video, but essentially I am covering the creepy / weird YouTube Iceberg as posted to Reddit by user BeanBurger9. And in the first video, we covered layers 1 and 2, essentially with these iceberg lists. The tip of the iceberg is the most easily found, or something most people know about, most surface level info. As you get deeper and deeper, all the way to the bottom of the iceberg, you get more obscure, and in this case, a little bit freakier. We're doing 2 layers in each of these videos. Layer 3 begins with the video Teddy Has an Operation. This video was posted by ZFrank1 back in April of 2013. Now, Teddy Has an Operation is one of those videos I feel like a lot of us may have memorized random lines from. It's just that like old internet replayability in this weird way where you just like memorize these videos and they kind of ingrain into your psyche. So a lot of you probably are familiar with this video. Also, ZFrank's channel is very funny. My brother introduced me to the True Facts About X Animal series way back in the day, and I've always found them really funny, which is why Teddy Has an Operation takes a turn for the weird. In incredible detail in Teddy Has an Operation, the narrator walks us through a teddy bear's operation, including visuals of candy as inner guts of sorts. But suddenly, this turns from a kind of jokey and light-hearted operation video on a stuffed animal to something a lot more gruesome. All of the sudden, we are observing very real meat and organs within this stuffed bear, a quick and disturbing departure from the candy-coated reality we were in before. I'm not going to show you intense footage of those meat and guts and everything in case you're squeamish, but the doctor goes so far as to pull an action figure out of Teddy's very real heart organ, saying Teddy must be sick because he loved a bad boy who broke his heart. Closing scenes of this video show Teddy recovering in bed with bloodied bandages all over his stuffed body. And this video, like I said, is stuck with a lot of people, but I don't think that the creator has really said anything specific about it. I think it kind of just lives on the internet in infamy and is a fun way to start off this layer of the iceberg. Next up in layer 3, we have Cat Ghost. Oh my god, cat ghosts. One of the things that I love most about doing these iceberg videos is that I end up watching a lot of content which I am familiar with but have never watched in its entirety, or have only peeped through the work of other YouTubers or other people who cover this kind of content. I'm sure I will be less thankful for it as we get into the more disturbing stuff moving down these layers, but right now I am quite enjoying these binge sessions. When I make these videos, I really want to feel like I've digested whatever it is that I am talking about. So with Cat Ghost, I thought I'd watch the first few episodes, take a break and do some research on explanation videos to try to get to the bottom of it. And I wound up binging the entire series in an hour and a half. The first ever episode of Cat Ghost was posted in June of 2017 and was titled Cat Ghost 1. Birthday. In this very first episode of the series, we are introduced to our 3 main characters that we will get to know in the videos that follow. First, we have Elon, who is a white cat, Nara, a small round ghost, and Gideon, a white sort of hedgehog-looking creature. This first video quickly establishes a dynamic between both Elon, the white cat, and Nara, the ghost. They are BFFs and kind of seem like they're ganging up on Gideon in a way, so they quickly start teasing him, but then tell him they should probably celebrate his birthday. That's right, it's Gideon's birthday and these other 2 creatures are just tormenting him on it. Elon and Nara take Gideon to a birthday cake, and Nara here expresses how hard it was to make this cake without any arms. As Elon the cat agrees with her, Nara says something a bit peculiar.
Do you have any idea how hard it is to make a cake without hands?
Well, all I have is these paws. I can't even hold a spatula. All I can do is bat at frosting and look adorable.
Yeah, I miss having a body.
Yeah, me too.
I have no idea what you two are talking about.
I miss having a body. And then Elon agrees with her, and there's this brief, uncomfortable silence that seems out of place in what feels like a kid's cartoon series. For his final birthday surprise, Nara and Elon have Gideon play an arcade cabinet. They repeatedly chant at him to play the game, despite him already mashing buttons. But suddenly the screen glitches out, and we see an arcade cabinet, Party Country, filled with static. When the screen comes back on, it's a pixelated version of Gideon on the screen. It's as if now he is inside of the cabinet, inside of the game. As he walks into the woods, he's met with a bloodied skeleton, dripping with pixelated flesh. It burns, the creature says. I can't feel my skin. Gideon, however, has a very lackluster answer, seemingly not startled at all by the figure. He continues on his way, eventually meeting the statued bust of a man in the woods. Let's reunite, the bust tells him. Gideon abruptly wakes up, back in the familiar cartoon overworld. He states that he guesses it was all just a dream, before noting the misshapen cake that was made for him earlier. This convinces him it wasn't a dream after all, but he just gives the viewer a half-hearted bye before the video cuts out. Throughout the following 13 videos on the Cat Ghost channel, it may seem like we are simply following the misadventures of these three characters in a very light-hearted cartoon series of sorts. But it doesn't stay so simple. In fact, if we look into episode 7 of Cat Ghost, which is titled Key, we have a soundbite from Nara here saying, "Man, being dead sucks." To which Elon replies, "Yeah, but not as much as being alive."
Man, being dead sucks.
Yeah, but not as bad as being alive.
It's also in this episode that something happens that causes their universe to explode around them. And for a brief moment, we see both Nara and Elon in human form. This confirms that their cute, animalistic ghost selves are not just fun characters in this series. They're real people who have passed on and are dealing with the afterlife. They have a myriad of secrets that they are hiding from us, the viewer. And then, in episode 8, Judgment, it seems to consist entirely of questions from fans. I can only imagine how exciting it was being someone who was tuned into this series while it was all being uploaded. Gideon, Elon, and Nara, now in cloud-like ghost forms, answer these questions, but around 3 minutes in, this happens.
My question is, who is the skinwalker?
You are nosy. You are nosy. You are nosy. You are nosy.
When being asked what the skinwalker is, Nara turns into a terrifying version of herself and tells the viewer that they're nosy. What is she trying to hide? When I started watching Cat Ghost, I thought that I was just going to enjoy some light-hearted scares from what seemed like a very surface-level cartoon series about ghosts. But it turned into so much more. Once you start watching Cat Ghost, you cannot pull yourself away. And it's something you have to experience for yourself. Don't just take my word on it. Go watch Cat Ghost in its entirety if you're gonna take one thing away from this video. It also has a huge ARG around it that will keep you entertained and plugged into the series long after you finish the videos. Most recently, the creator has actually uploaded the entire series in Spanish as well. So if you want to enjoy it in a different language, that's also there for you to watch. Next up on layer 3, we have Pizza Time Pizza. And once again, we're talking about something that I started watching not knowing what the heck I was getting myself into.
Here at Pizza Time Pizza, we don't use any preservatives or fake ingredients. We only use fresh, farm-grown, organic ingredients. Hi, I'm a real person, and I eat Pizza Time Pizza every day.
First posted to YouTube by Alex Bale in October of 2017, Pizza Time Pizza seems like a light-hearted parody of a pizza commercial at first. Instead of live actors, we're given stock images with moving lips who tell us if we don't eat Pizza Time Pizza, we're probably going to die. Also that it's good for us and delicious. However, by paying attention to the small disclaimers at the bottom of the screen, you might start to notice some startling messages. We live in a violent, dangerous world. Being alone increases your chances of death. Safety is in numbers. Join the Pizza Time Pizza family. We will protect you. Do not trust the outside world. Another very interesting one includes your friends and family are distractions. They will lie to you. They will hold you back from your full potential. The Pizza Time Pizza family is your real family. Join us. From here, this first video moves very quickly, and we actually see someone eating a pizza that is assumedly from Pizza Time Pizza in real time. Whoever this is starts to cough violently while being told by the characters on screen that he is worthless, nothing, and to join the Pizza Time Pizza family. It seems almost immediately that there's something darker to Pizza Time Pizza. Almost, one might say, cult-like. But we are very quickly told in videos that follow that Pizza Time Pizza is not a cult. It's a family. Your family. By simply following the teachings of Pizza Man and also Pizza Time Pizza and alienating everyone we've ever loved and also forgetting our past and knowing that we're worthless without Pizza Time Pizza, like, we will just ascend to greatness and probably never die. Maybe. With Pizza Time Pizza, we can become whole and happy and maybe live forever. But it's not a cult. We could be here for hours talking about Pizza Time Pizza and the bizarre messages that lie within these videos. Somehow, what seems like instantly, overnight in a way, over the course of the 10 major videos that fall in line with the series, as well as unlisted links, additional videos, and so much more, Pizza Time Pizza turns from like this parody of sorts of like a major pizza chain into something so much darker. So much less about these funny stock characters saying their piece over this lovely background music, and so much more about the real people who are associated not only with Pizza Time Pizza, but also the people affected by this cult hidden within a pizza restaurant. I had the honor of the creator, Alex Bale, who's a friend of mine, popping into my Twitch chat while I was watching this, and it was really fascinating to hear his thoughts while looking at this entire series. Not only to point me in the right directions to get the information I was looking for, but also to talk about how it was filmed and where the inspiration came from in the first place. And also he talked a lot about his next series. So if you want to watch that, it will be up on my second channel. Maybe not as you're watching this. I'm working on getting up to date on my VODs over on my second channel, but it is definitely worth it to watch Pizza Time Pizza from start to finish. I think you'll walk away like I did with such an appreciation for something like this on YouTube that feels so campy and lighthearted at the start, but turns into what feels like it should be a major motion production and feels like it should have been in theaters. It's kind of crazy that we get to watch it for free. Beautifully shot and produced. The story behind Pizza Time Pizza is one that you don't want to miss. So yeah, that's my rave of Pizza Time Pizza over. The music in the series is also by Aiden Elliott, who made The Sun Vanished and who is also just like a really talented creator, and it really adds into the entire thing. Okay, on to the next bullet point.
We are looking at how to pronounce this name, as well as how to say more unclear names from history. How do you go about pronouncing this one? Agamemnon. Agamemnon. Straightforward, once you know. Agamemnon. Agamemnon counterpart was one that I was not familiar with in the slightest before working on this video. This video, as posted in June of 2006, has a particularly eerie opening to it. In the year 2571, a video cassette tape was found in a pile of rubble on the ruins of a certain blue planet. What you are about to witness will not be the contents of the aforementioned cassette. This is an entirely different recording. Flashing lights warning here for those of you who may be sensitive, just go ahead and skip forward a touch. But this video is just glitched, over-the-top animation. Characters that almost look like Muppets scream as muffled, disturbing audio plays. A character with no eyes mouths words at the screen. It feels just incredibly random with seemingly no plot or reason. Just early YouTube content made to confuse and unnerve viewers. However, still an interesting find on this list, and I can understand why it is a bit down in the iceberg, as it wasn't really something I was familiar with, but I can understand why it would have freaked people out in 2006. Okay, editing low here. I didn't want to leave this out, but I guess that somebody wrote a creepypasta about this video, stating that the screams in the background belonged to a woman who was murdered in a very famous Japanese true crime case. This was debunked, but I thought that that could have been why it was on this list, as otherwise it is just really random visuals, so wanted to toss it in. Now on to sitting and smiling. If you are familiar with my channel, you may remember a video I did on a TikTok creator who was paying a bit of homage to sitting and smiling, and who had sort of started this series on their own over on TikTok. That TikTok creator has, I think, long since stopped posting on that account, and we've never really talked about the source of inspiration for that entire series. Sitting and Smiling is a series of videos posted on the channel of Benjamin Bennett. First streamed on July 28th of 2014, Bennett simply sits and smiles at the camera, unspeaking, for hours on end. It's described on Wikipedia as endurance art, and Bennett's reasoning for these videos seems to be how long he can keep composure and remain in quote-unquote character. Why is this on the creepy weird iceberg if that's all there is to it? The videos are weird. Like, I will happily say that. They are unnerving. To see someone remain so perfectly still and stoic in this sitting and smiling state, unspeaking, does feel so unnatural in a day and era where we are really familiar to our creators on screen entertaining us, and not just watching them sit still. So I think that that could be one reason, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell you why I really think it's on this part of the iceberg. Somewhat infamously, in Sitting and Smiling number 5, around the 2.5-hour mark, we can hear someone walking up to Bennett's front door before opening it and saying, "Hello?" Now, the description box gives us a lot of clarity as to what happened when we heard that voice. This episode of Sitting and Smiling features a very special guest. About 2.5 hours into the webcast, I hear someone come into my house, which is odd because my only housemate is at work and we weren't expecting anyone. I realize I didn't check to see if the doors were locked before starting the webcast. I hear the person stealthily moving about the house, and then I hear them stealthily climbing the stairs towards my room. My door opens and I hear an unfamiliar male voice say, "Hello?"
Hello?
Then, after presumably seeing me sitting still and smiling in front of a camera lit from beneath a fluorescent bulb, he promptly descends down the stairs and exits the house. As it turns out, the doors were locked, and he had broken one open. We found nothing missing, as there's not really anything of value in the house other than the laptop I was using to webcast. Somehow, in the midst of someone breaking into his home and speaking, Bennett never broke character, never looked away from the camera, or stopped smiling. He continued to sit and smile long after this break-in, which I think is something that in the moment, after knowing the entire story around this, was really disturbing, but now I think is so admirable. Not something I do. The series is something he has since continued, but he's also added on to it with a new series titled Walking and Talking. This is much more of a vlog style where we sit with him, well, really walk with him, and chat for hours. It's been cool to watch Benjamin grow in himself as an artist and a creator, but this is where Sitting and Smiling falls into our list. Next up on the iceberg, we have the series Lasagna Cat. Now, Lasagna Cat seems pretty innocent on the surface. It's just a parody of the comic strip Garfield, as you may have already been able to guess by the title Lasagna Cat. In the videos on this channel, usually content from the comics are acted out, and also, most of the time, at least partially in live action. According to Wikipedia, the series exists mainly to criticize the original Garfield comics style of humor and as a tribute to its creator, Jim Davis. Most of these videos are only about a minute or two long, with the title being the date that the original comic was published. However, two major videos on the channel break that norm. The first being titled 07/27/1978. Now this opens, as all of the others do, with a comic of Garfield. In this one in particular, we are shown that Garfield has stolen John's pipe. It somehow then transitions into an hour-long single-shot tribute to Jim Davis by actor John Blythe Barrymore. The tribute is dramatic, to say the absolute least, portraying the original comic strip as a powerful and artistic force. The actor does not break even once in this entire hour as he sings the praises of a mediocre at best comic strip. Some people have said that they fall asleep to this video, that it's like ASMR to them. It's very clearly a joke. At least you'd hope so. But something else happens on this channel that I think is what really has stuck with people about Lasagna Cat as a whole. A video titled 1-800-591-3274 came out on the channel. Viewers were given a very theatrical, almost Batman-like trailer of a request to call the number that was in the title of the video. And the request was simple: call the number, say your name, and say your number of sexual partners. A very weird request from a channel that's a parody of Garfield. It's in February of 2017 that a 5-hour-long video titled Sex Survey Results comes out on the Lasagna Cat channel. It is pretty much what you'd expect it to be, just a documentation of the people who had called in with their survey answers in this weird loop of either John, Odie, or Garfield answering the door to whoever happened to be calling. Let me repeat, a 5-hour-long video of this. Time does pass during this video and it slowly becomes dark outside. At the very end, when John gets one last knock from outside the door, it is himself standing on the other side, stating that he has had 2 partners. The original John just grins back at him and says, "John Arbuckle, 0. Suddenly, the John on the doorstep ages, an old graying man staring at the closed door. He briefly makes eye contact with a chubby orange cat in the window before slowly walking away from the house. Audio from Jim Davis's interviews about Garfield, the comic, and more play as John slowly walks through a dark and desolate town. The last 5 minutes of this nearly 5-hour-long video include a taxidermied version of Garfield, a naked adult man in Garfield body paint, and a Polish woman giving birth to a baby in a toilet, then giving a long monologue on how she gave birth to something evil. In the toilet is a newborn version of John, already wearing his long-sleeve blue polo, with Garfield standing over the top of him. This might seem like a fever dream. It is a fever dream. But Nick Nocturne, or Nightmind, happens to have a video on the Lasagna Cat channel, and in particular this video, that explains why all of this effort was put in. It explains what this was for. Far from random, the final 5 minutes of Sex Survey Results are meant to portray Garfield's fall from grace. Jim Davis, the creator of Garfield, placed himself into his own comics in the form of John Arbuckle, a cartoonist with the same birthday as Jim Davis himself. But Garfield becomes the star of the show, not John. Garfield gets laughs. Garfield never ages. However, this video, this parody video, shows that Garfield does age. He's lost his luster and his sparkle, and he's not really funny anymore. Now, once celebrated series has been reduced to a meme of an intellectual property. There's a lot more to this that I'll let Nick explain if you want to dive further, but in summary, Lasagna Cat was a series on YouTube under a channel of the same name who parodied the work of cartoonist Jim Davis in the form of these videos. However, it seems like they were commentating on much more than just a silly comic strip here and there. And this was the final video on the Lasagna Cat channel. Very, very bizarre. Lastly, on layer 3, we have the video Happy Anniversary. And viewer be warned, this one is a little bit darker than the rest. Happy Anniversary was originally posted on YouTube by the channel 112 Dirtbag in February of 2012. It features a man laughing at the camera with increased passion and intensity before abruptly stopping. And it ends with the text, Happy Anniversary. Yes, it's weird, but why among everything else on YouTube was this chosen to be on this iceberg list? That would be due to the fact that people think that this video has a connection to a real missing persons case, that of Maura Murray. Maura was a nursing student who went missing after telling her teachers that she would be out of class and out of school due to a death in the family. However, after her disappearance, it turned out that there was no death to be heard of. The day she disappeared, she crashed her car while making a turn on Route 112 in New Hampshire. Someone actually saw Maura after the crash, and she begged them not to call the police, stating that AAA was on the way. Strangely, that also was a lie. Now, when her car was investigated, they found a lot of things that normally might be in one's car if you were going on an overnight trip. Think things like CDs, makeup bags, changes of clothes, etc. The only things missing from the car were Maura herself, her debit card, and her phone. Maura was never seen again. So back to the video. Why does everyone think that this is connected to a missing persons case? Well, it was posted on the 8th anniversary of Maura's disappearance, with the title Happy Anniversary, of course. Maura did go missing on Route 112, as said previously, and somewhat famously, in one interview, Maura's father referred to whoever took his daughter as dirtbags. So 112 dirtbags seems much less random after that explanation. Now, the man in the YouTube videos has been confirmed as Alden Olson. He posted a lot on his original YouTube video before it was taken offline, but only a few of these videos people have linked to the Maura Murray case. However, one was even titled after Maura herself, titled Maura Murray, and showed a brief clip of a ticket to Bretton Woods Mountain Resort, which Maura had been searching for on her computer before her disappearance. The date of the ticket was only 2 days after Maura's disappearance in 2004. A lot of the information that I do know of about both Alden, Maura, and this video as a whole comes from Scare Theater's channel. So I only know any of this from him. Most of this content has been taken off the internet. However, in one video where Alden is simply composing music on screen, suddenly the video cuts away to a bizarre image of a red shape, some numbers, and a face. The right eye of the face almost blinks at us for a moment, and it's revealed on this video on the Scare Theater channel that this is really similar to the map of Bretton Woods Mountain Resort. Alden has been investigated and questioned by local police, and nothing really came of it. A lot of people just chalk him up to someone who's obsessed with true crime and is potentially mentally ill, believes that he may have a hand in these disappearances, but for me, my theory is a lot darker. I think that this man knows something, and I think whatever he knows, he will take with him to the grave. I know, a particularly dark note to end off layer 3 on, but with that, let's move away into layer 4. Kicking off layer 4 with a bang, first we have Daisy Brown. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of Daisy Brown on YouTube, but I guess it's also been a really long time since it was sort of in the spotlight. So I'm excited to tell any of you who are not familiar with the series a little bit about it. This channel rose to fame after posting a video titled How I Feed Alan in July of 2017. This video features a purple creature that looks like a monster, and this is Alan. In this initial video, Daisy shows how she feeds Alan sugar tablets. He has a unique body after all, and he can only digest sugar, according to her.
As you can see, he's just kind of like nibbling around, looking for food. So I'm going to show you, his body is very unique. He can only process sugar, so I'm going to feed him these little sugar tablets. So he is blind. He might be confused. Alan? Here we go. Come on.
However, many people had a million questions after seeing Alan for the first time. What was he with his purple skin and sharp teeth? Why was he blind? And how did he come to be? In a following video titled Let's Talk About Dad, Science, Alan, and the Basement, Daisy answers a lot of the most common questions. She said she hadn't realized when she initially posted Alan that monsters are not commonplace for most people. It turns out that Daisy's father literally invented Alan. One day, Daisy came down the stairs to find Alan sitting at the table, smaller and more gooey than his current state. And it becomes obvious over the course of this video that Daisy is alone with Alan, raising him as a child. She often refers to her father with past tense, saying she's looking for notes to help her take care of Alan. Over the course of the videos and years that follow, Alan ends up growing rapidly in size, becoming more violent and aggressive towards Daisy. Themes of mental health are strong in these videos, so viewers, be careful and safe. The entire Daisy Brown channel is a masterfully created, beautiful piece of art that absolutely belongs on this iceberg. Between both the literal creation of this like paper mache doll creature thing that is Alan, as well as all of the art and emotion and hidden messaging throughout the whole series, it's one that absolutely deserves this level of recognition. One interesting note here is that when Daisy is talking about the basement and why she doesn't go in there, she specifically says how there's black mold in the basement and how if you're not careful, it could give you Lynx disease, which is a perfect transition into the next bullet point on this list. This house has people in it. This House Has People in It is a short film that initially debuted on Adult Swim. I have watched This House Has People in It so many times, but twice publicly on stream, and I did not walk away any less confused either time. Such is one's fate, I guess, when watching anything that Alan Resnick does. This House Has People in It is special. There's a reason why we're at level 4 of the iceberg, featuring an Adult Swim short film. This video centers around the family life of a group of people living in one house together. The son of the family is celebrating his birthday, and they seem to be expecting guests and preparing the home for them. However, things take a turn for the dark when the daughter of the family cannot seem to peel herself off of the kitchen floor. The beginning portion of the video features the family arguing over the daughter, both arguing about her and physically standing over her. Her father states that he'll be there to talk whenever it is that his daughter is ready, while her mother seems angry that their child won't communicate with her. Finally, after minutes of arguing, the father tries to lift the daughter off of the floor, but it appears that she is stuck. Quickly, the family realizes that the daughter is sinking into the floorboards. They try to lift her, but she's as heavy as stone and unable to be moved. Instead, they overcome the obstacle by taking a mattress from their son's bed in order to catch their daughter as she falls into the basement. That's the lightest synopsis of this video I could possibly give you, though. In truth, the contents of this video are manic, chaotic, and you never know what you're getting. We're constantly swapping between funny little quips that might make you chuckle to truly dark portrayals of mental health that will leave you shivering. Bonus points for the creature walking around the house that is so terrifying you won't sleep for a week. It's something you have to watch for yourself because I cannot explain it to you. There is no way to explain it to you. But what's the point? Why was it made? My Twitch chat, who is infinitely smarter than me, and also so nice. I don't know why I have such a nice Twitch chat. It's actually kind of nutty. But they figured out pretty quickly that this was a piece on mental health. And reading one article from The Observer around the time that the short film came out might give a bit of insight as to what Alan Resnick and the other creators were thinking when they created it. Asked by The Observer was the question, what is it about this kind of family situation that lends itself to horror stories? Robbie Ratcliffe answered, I think it's a couple things. The first is that family is where you're supposed to be safe. Home is where things are predictable. Most people are at their most innocent and vulnerable at home with their loved ones. It's meant to be a place of unconditional caring. When something terrifying or unnatural happens to your family, it can very easily feel like a tragedy. Like a chunk of something is lost. Also, family is an inherently weird situation. People are born into a living arrangement with other people, with all its norms and rules that they have no input on for all of their early lives. There's a natural tension in which people are trying to live independent interior lives, but can't, because their parents sleep 50 feet from where they do. There's already a sense of foreboding, especially when kids start to really form into individuals, because it inevitably leads to secrets. I guess what I'm trying to say is that family is like a natural form of surveillance. It's like we're always preparing for some kind of calamity. Another big theme, of course, with This House Has People in It, as you've probably already seen from the clips that I've shown you, are the surveillance cameras that are catching every bit of this content. Back to the family dynamic, however. In the video, the father repeatedly apologizes to his son that he can't be there for him and give him the birthday that he feels his son deserves because his daughter is having this crisis.
Jackson,
Yannika's trying to have a birthday party. Okay, I'm sorry. I really wanted you to have a good birthday party.
Not only is the son's party canceled, he's forced to tell all of the guests, hey, you can't come, my sister's having a bit of a moment right now. He has to clean up after himself, clean up his party. And then his parents even take away his mattress in order to save his sister in this dark moment. While it might seem understandable to us, this had to affect the son pretty heavily. His parents took away from him in order to help his sister. And just because she really needed it in that moment doesn't make it any less difficult for him. And the family dynamic weirdness doesn't stop at these characters. Grandma is on the couch the whole time, never paying attention to the crisis around her and the eventual smoke in the house. Instead, she just watches her program about molding clay, in which we get the friendly little Lynx disease name drop. Lynx disease is this little nod in a lot of Alan Resnick's work that sort of ties all of the universes together. It's a fictional disease, and a lot of horror creators and just creators in general will mention Lynx disease as a small nod to him as a creator. That's what was going on in Daisy Brown. Okay, back to Grandma on the couch though, watching the freaking clay show. At one point, Grandma is handed the baby while the mom is desperately trying to help the daughter, but Grandma is so tuned out to everything happening around her that she puts the baby down. Baby is allowed to walk all over the house and eventually wanders outside on her own. It's an incredible piece on how the mental health of our family, how being in the same household as people who might be struggling in some capacity can affect not only them but us. The father is passionate as they save the daughter, saying that they were preparing for this. This is a test of sorts, and he loves his family. He'll do anything for them. While the mother finds herself frustrated, angry, blaming everyone around them, asking, what did you do in order to get the daughter to this point? Grandma doesn't even know what the heck is going on and doesn't really care about anyone's mental health struggles, while the little brother is too young to understand the severity of them. As a result, the baby of the family gets neglected in a sense and ends up wandering around outside the house. Do you see what I'm getting at here? This is an incredibly, incredibly intricate short film that cannot be put into words. This is just one takeaway from this house has people in it, and it was just my major takeaway from the lens that I see it in. It's a must watch for everyone and anyone who not only appreciates horror, but just enjoys short films in general. So I said that Daisy Brown kicked off this fourth layer of the iceberg, but I didn't realize that I completely missed over There Is Nothing, which actually kicked off the fourth level of the iceberg, so we're working our way back just a bit. Could I edit it properly? Yes, but I'd rather give you guys the mini heart attack thinking that I forgot it. I'm assuming that There Is Nothing refers to the infamous piece Dining Room or There Is Nothing. This was posted by David B. Earl in early 2006 and was described as a looped short film. In it, we see a woman at a dining table. Behind her are huge flames as though the world around her is burning to the ground. She speaks in gibberish that we can't understand before her head falls into the bowl of soup in front of her.
Nietam si red.
At the other end of the table is an empty bowl, presumably where we as the viewers sit. Suddenly, the video pans back into her sitting upright at the table, where she speaks again. But now we can understand her.
There is nothing.
The only real context I have for this film comes directly from David Earl's website. And he says, when looped, there's no actual beginning or end, and no real sense of where the beginning and end actually are. This piece was inspired by a personal paradoxical desire for empirical proof that there is nothing on the other side of life. I wanted to blur the distinction between the two states, and to state the paradox by showing someone who is coming back from life or death and denies its existence. thereby fulfilling the paradox. This video, currently in its most recent form, I'm assuming, sits at over 7 million views on YouTube, and it's widely considered one of the scariest and most mysterious videos on YouTube. On to the next entry, 11BX1371. This was something that I had seen time and time again, but never really knew that there was a proper name for. This video, usually referred to as the Plague Doctor video, was posted in 2015, and it first appeared on the 4chan paranormal board. The visuals of this video are simple enough. It's only about 2 minutes long and takes place on a seemingly abandoned building, the only character being a person in a plague doctor mask. However, despite the simplicity of this video, so much mystery surrounds it. Flashing codes appear throughout the video, graffiti appears and disappears from the walls. When running the video through editing software, people even found clues hidden within the audio files. Now, by looking into the spectrogram for this video, which basically translate audio waves into pictures, we end up seeing startling and graphic images I can't even show you here. Some from movies, some from crime scenes, and even the victim of a serial killer, the Boston Strangler. Codes from this video will end up spelling out mysterious messages, ranging from strange to truly sinister. And to be frank with you, repeating a lot of them in this video would probably put me on a list that I don't want to be on. People were mixed on this due to the graphic nature of what the codes ended up spelling out, the photos found in the spectrogram, and much more. Was it real? Was it fake? Was there someone to fear behind this? Well, it turns out that this video, and also the one that followed it, featuring a masked girl behind the original Plague Doctor, were part of an art project by Parker Wright. The reveal to him stating that he was behind the video the whole time was mixed. Some were relieved that the darker messages had no merit to them, while others seemed disappointed that there was nothing deeper to the videos. The creator ended up confirming that he was not only the original poster on both 4chan and YouTube, but also that he had left DVD copies of the original tape on trains and benches in Poland. This was something I never realized freaked people out to the degree that it did. A lot of people thought it was probably an ARG, but there was this kind of fear around the unknown of what if it's not? What if there's something really wrong here? Now we know there's really nothing to fear around it, but at the time I'm sure it had to be pretty freaky. To finish off layer 4 and marking our official halfway point with this iceberg, we have a video titled Feel Good Today. Actually kind of surprised by how niche this is. This video was posted by Jordan Goes to Sleep in September of 2017. It starts off very innocently, actually, with a green dinosaur giving the viewer words of affirmation, stating things such as, "Look at the map. You are here. You construct the meaning you choose." About a minute in, we get a secondary character, a purple worm-like creature with massive blue eyes that approaches the dinosaur. The dinosaur quickly tells this small, helpless creature, in his own words, that he's here to help him. But before the creature can explain, the dinosaur tells him that his free session is over and he offers his card. It seems that the dinosaur is not a benevolent figure sending love to those who need it, but a regular, good old-fashioned businessman. The camera cuts out here and cuts back to a strange, dark room, covered in black candles. The dinosaur says that one day he'll have his very own office, with his very own patients. He will help his patients, and they will help him. The dinosaur actually turned out to be a returning character from this channel, originally from a video called I'm Here to Help that was posted in May of 2017. In this original video in which he appears, he states that he's from a different dimension. He feels no emotions. As a result, he's here to help others feel better. Then he breaks into a dance. If I were to try to decipher a meaning from both of these videos, it would be that when people set out to help others, a lot of the times they can be swayed by money, by greed, by a desire for fame and fortune. The dinosaur starts out as someone who says that his gift of not feeling emotions makes him want to help other people. But then he can't be bothered to listen to someone actually talk about their problems without charging them for money. It's a fine line between should we be paid for our gifts / should we help people with them when they actually need it. And so ends layers 3 and 4 of the disturbing, creepy, weird YouTube iceberg. My throat hurts. I've been talking for so long. I want to thank you all very much for being so patient with me on this. I think that a lot of you found my channel through this new series, and a lot of my original viewers have been really waiting for me to come back with this. And once again, I'll just emphasize that they just take a long time to get together. I want to be thorough. I want to make sure that I'm getting my thoughts together. I never want to have to redo one of these and say, well, actually, here's what I think after digesting this longer. I want to be able to give you my full thoughts, and I think it's worth the wait. At least I hope so. I want to say a really special thank you to my subscriber Binod, who is a member of this YouTube channel. If you want to become a channel member and get access to one extra video every single month, as well as members exclusive posts on things that I'm getting into, if you want to be able to help me decide what videos to film next, you can hit that little join button. It should be somewhere around the screen if you are on browser or Android. If you're on iPhone, you may have to go to Safari in order to find it. That was something I heard recently from people, so you can't find it on the iPhone app. But anyway, if you want to hit that little join button and join my channel memberships, we would love to have you. For now, thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I love you very, very much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!